If your home still feels a little off, chances are one of these 6 mistakes is to blame. Some are subtle, okay, but they're making your home look stuck in the past. So let's fix that. Welcome back to Top 6 Saturday. I'm James, your paint color guide with strong opinions and even stronger swatch sticks. Today we're diving into some of the most common paint choices that are quietly dragging your home into the outdated zone. I'm not here to shame your beige hallway, okay, or your white on white trim obsession, but I am here to help you modernize it and freshen it up if you so choose. And hey, fixing these doesn't require a full reno, just smarter color choices and a few easy updates. And if you need personalized color advice, we do consultations and palette pyramids. So let's learn about one of them right now. If you need a little more color inspiration, check out our palette pyramid service where we create custom color palettes for you based on your needs, your wants. Whether you need a 3-color palette, 6, or even more, we can accommodate you. And as part of the service, I even send you a personalized video explaining how the colors all work together. People love them. We're getting more and more demand. So while my workload is still manageable, check the link down below and secure your palette pyramid today. Thank you for indulging me. Let's get into this video now. Number 1, using Builder Beige everywhere. Ah, yes, Builder's Beige. Possibly the most uninspiring color of all time. It was everywhere for years, and while it was meant to be a safe, neutral backdrop, it often ends up making your home feel tired and drab, especially ones with that yellow undertone that feels a bit sick, especially in certain lighting conditions. And it also casts this weird brownish tint that feels a little unwashed and unclean. It could also suck the life out of vibrant decor that is amongst it, making modern furniture feel a little out of place. The biggest issue to me is that it doesn't feel intentional. It feels very default, very laissez-faire, which isn't fair to those walls, honestly. And when every wall has that same sort of muddy tone, your home loses dimension and personality. The fix here is try warmer neutrals that feel updated but still cozy. So something like, Sherwin-Williams Shoji White, for example, or even Benjamin Moore's Pale Oak. They're not necessarily beige, but they're definitely not gray either. It fits this nice little middle ground that feels fresh, flexible, and pair beautifully with modern and transitional design. So if you really want to go beige, I would go even more saturated or just stick in that neutral grayish territory. Number 2, white trim with every wall color. Doesn't matter, white baseboards. People love white trim, and I get it. It's clean, it's classic, it's bright, but it's also kind of lazy when it's just used by default in every single room without question. White trim can actually look a bit harsh, especially when paired with warm wall colors or darker tones. It creates too much contrast that can draw your eye to the trim instead of letting that whole space work together. Plus, not all white paints are created equal. If you're a subscriber, you would know this. A stark, cool white next to a soft, warm wall can make the whole room feel just weird, even if you can't put your finger on why. And white trim also tends to highlight any imperfections in your baseboards and door frames, which is not ideal in those older homes. So what I would do instead is embrace painted trim in mid-tone colors or even deeper neutrals. And one that I would look at is Revere Pewter, which is a color I recently bashed as a wall choice. But on the trim, it can give it a soft and earthy look that is very refined. Then one of my personal favorites lately has been Iron Mountain, if you want a deeper, dramatic contrast that feels polished and custom without going to a full jet black. Number 3, cool gray everything. We all got swept in the gray wave, and I'm still rocking a gray sweater, but it was a gift from my daughter, who is 20 months old, so it was a gift from my wife. It is what it is. Especially those icy blue-leaning grays that felt super modern, but honestly, in 2025, all of these cool grays are one of the top reasons a home can feel cold and uninviting. So people were sacrificing coziness with what they thought was really awesome and cool, but it was too cool. It was cold. It was frigid. Colors like that suck the warmth out of your space, literally and emotionally. Very draining, to be honest, especially in those homes that don't get a lot of natural light, or you don't really have beautiful incandescent bulbs to warm up the space. They can end up making your space feel sad and shadowy and a little depressing. And when paired with cool toned flooring or overly white trim, the effects can be very sterile. So these grays can just make a mess with everything, even your skin tones, which is not what you want when you're relaxing or even entertaining. So of course, shift gears. Replace them with softer, more welcoming tones, like a Balboa mist or pale oak, which is maybe a little pinky in some cases, but I think it's going to be way more user-friendly than a cool blue-leaning gray. Anything that's honestly a warm grayish, even agreeable gray by Sherwin-Williams. They're neutral, elevated. They bring a calm, comforting energy that gray just can't do anymore. And gray just may not be the choice for everyone if you're constantly trying to update your space and freshen it up and you like to repaint. These are colors that you can probably just leave and you'll be fine. Number 4, matching paint to outdated finishes or furniture. Here's the thing, trying to match your wall color to finishes or furniture that are already outdated is like buying a brand new outfit to match your old pair of shoes that you don't even like anymore. And some people do this, so I wanted to point it out. I see this all the time with things like red-toned cherry cabinets or dark leather sectionals. People will pick colors to match them or, complement them instead of balancing or modernizing them. It may feel safer, but it actually highlights the outdated features even more. Your paint should elevate the space, not cling to the past that you're probably going to replace next year or even sooner. Instead, use color to downplay those elements while still working with them. For those red or orange tone woods, try softer neutrals like a natural cream or even a classic gray by Benjamin Moore. I feel like that color always works to create a nice calming, subtle transitional bit of contrast. And for dark, outdated furniture, cool muted colors like Booth Bay Gray or even Sherwin-Williams Silver Strand can give the room a whole new feel without needing to replace everything. Number 5, painting the entire house one color. We often call it the main color here on this channel. And while it is a handy tool to have in your arsenal, you may not necessarily want to just stick with one color. There's something very tempting about it because it's simple, it's cohesive, and it seems like a no-fail strategy. But the reality is, even the most beautiful paint color can feel a little bit repetitive when it's used in every single room. It's nice to have a color that can be used everywhere, but that doesn't mean you need to. Sometimes it can flatten your home's personality and makes it feel like a developer flipped it in a hurry. Every room has its own lighting, its own function, has a different vibe, and one color can't possibly suit them all equally well. It might be a good choice everywhere, but not the best choice. It's also a missed opportunity to create zones, flow, and subtle drama, which is so exciting in interior decorating. The better approach is use colors in the same family, but shift slightly depending on the space. So let's say Balboa Mist is kind of the main color you're thinking about. Love this color, let's just put it everywhere. Hold on now. What if you take Balboa Mist in the hallway, in the main parts of your home, but then you have classic gray in your living room, and you have pale oak in the bedrooms? Colors of a similar ilk, right? But they're different enough to create slightly different aesthetics in each space. You'll keep that flow and that continuity that you were going for, but everything will feel more custom and intentional. And I think that's very important. Number 6, always painting your ceilings bright white. White ceilings are the standard. I oftentimes will paint a ceiling white more than any other color, but that doesn't mean they're the best choice for every room, especially in those cozy or dark tone spaces. A bright white ceiling can be too jarring and actually ruin the mood you're trying to create. For example, this basement, the ceilings are black. Exposed ceilings, didn't even put drywall up there, and it suits this industrial vibe perfectly. White ceilings can sometimes draw your eye upward and not necessarily in a good way. And if your walls are warm, a stark white or even blue leaning white ceiling can make the space feel fragmented instead of cohesive. In rooms with lower ceilings also, it can create a harsh divide that make the room feel even shorter. Dark ceilings, they'll make your place feel taller, which is really nice. So here's the fix. Treat your ceiling like the fifth wall. If you've heard this before, good. If you haven't, this is very important. So a couple fun tricks is you can paint your ceiling the same color as your walls for a very seamless, streamlined look. Or you can try a warmer off-white like Benjamin Moore's White Dove or Alabaster by Sherwin-Williams. And in more dramatic spaces like a dining room or a powder room, go even bolder with something like Gentleman's Gray or even Kendall charcoal on the ceiling. It's going to feel high-end, bold, and much more customized. So if your space is feeling a little tired lately, like me, I feel quite tired being a new father, gotta tell you. These small paint tweaks can make a huge difference without ripping anything out or starting from scratch. Let your paint work smarter, not harder. Let me know in the comment section. Hit that like button now for me and subscribe for more ways to modernize your home one coat at a time. All right.